Every year, a new footballer is blessed with the opportunity to be the FIFA cover star. That might be the most Captain Obvious statement I've ever made. But in today's video, I want to explore the theory whether being the FIFA cover star is a blessing or a curse. I want to explore every FIFA cover star's career after they were the cover star.
We will watch your career with great interest.
Starting off in 1993 with FIFA International Soccer. FIFA International Soccer. It's fitting that I wore an MLS jersey. So, we have David Platt and Peter Schmeichel. I'm sorry, that's a terrible Polish pronunciation. Nope, I did not mean David Platt, the American minister. Oh, David Platt, footballer right there. There's the Donny himself, 55 years of age now, born in 1966. So, 1993, he was playing at Juventus. So he got another 8 years of his career afterwards, went to Sampdoria after he was the FIFA cover star, got 55 appearances under his belt, 17 goals, 88 appearances at Arsenal, and then retired at Nottingham Forest. Must have had a pretty bad final few years if he only played 5 games in 2 years. I want to explore that. So he was only at Juventus for 1 season. That was the year he was the cover star. So he went 1 season at Juventus and then went to Sampdoria. Not much written on him at Sampdoria. £5.2 million as well for a move back in the 90s was decent. But it seems like when he went back to Arsenal, things really kicked off. 4 years in Italy, 3 different clubs. Got a lot of footy under his belt at Arsenal. Early in the 1997 season, Arsenal accepted a £1.5 million bid from Middlesbrough, but the transfer never happened. In July 99, he signed a 3-year contract to take over. He was player manager at Nottingham Forest and then retired. I did not realize that. No wonder he didn't play so many games. He was too busy managing the club. Did he play much for England? So obviously Euro 92, the 94 World Cup qualifying. So he got a few goals under his belt in qualifying. And England didn't even make the 1994 World Cup. So that's a bit of a curse right there. Then he had Euro 1996 and was mainly a sub in it. So obviously towards the tail end of his career, the final 5 years. But it looks like he's had a decent managerial career as well. So all in all, I think Platt has had a decent career after being the FIFA cover star. I'm going to label him not cursed. Also, it's hard for me to go into super detail in this video because otherwise the video would go for like 2 hours long. Trying to keep it concise, you know. But now we're going to look up Peter Schmeichel. No disrespect to Peter, but I have no idea really who he is. There is not much on his Wikipedia at all. A lot of stats though, so we'll go deep into those. My man's had a lot of clubs. So he made his debut in 1988. So he was only 5 years into his career when he was the FIFA cover star. That's decent. No wonder he was as well. He got 31 goals in the 1993 season when he was the cover star. Then 30 with Saint Etienne. That is fantastic. He went to Bastia. Oh, that's appearances. I was gonna say, I was looking down, I was like, this guy's consistent, but yeah, not crazy. I mean, he was a midfielder, so he's gone Saint Etienne to Basta, to the Japanese league for a season, back to Bastia, to Marseille, to Birmingham City, to Lech Poznan, and then to a bunch of Polish sides. My man has had a very decent, a very journeyman career. 70 appearances for the Polish national team as well. That is very good from a man. He's managed as well. He's a manager right now, apparently. Should probably pull the screen over. There we go. We can see the managerial stuff there. So he's been managing all around Poland for the past few years. I mean, it's hard to say he was cursed by being the FIFA cover star. He might be the most low-key FIFA cover star in the history. Respectfully, the biggest club he played for was probably Marseille. I mean, I know Lech Poznan's pretty big in Poland, but I'm gonna say not cursed. He followed he stuck steady. You don't get a 20-year career by being terrible. There was no FIFA in 1994 to my knowledge, so we're moving on to FIFA Soccer 1995. And we have the Norwegian footballer Erik Thorstvedt. Erik Thorstvedt.
In the beginning.
Immediately the thing that catches my eye is his IMDb page. Is this the same guy? Born October 28, 1962? Yeah, this is the same guy. Is my man become an actor? He's an actor he's been in a couple things. Okay, I see you. They're probably all, they're they're all Norwegian films. He's got 3 credits as well as an actor. Is it the old documentaries or something? I don't know. That's pretty cool. Already I'm gonna say this guy didn't have a curse after him because he's had a career in Norway's Hollywood. But let's go check out the actual footballing stats. Okay, there's not much written here on his page. In fact, he only had 1 club after being FIFA. He only played for 1 year after being FIFA cover star because he retired in 1996. He was the goalkeeper at Tottenham. He retired a year after being the FIFA cover star. That's kind of a baller move. I know this is probably too zoomed out for you guys to see, but he has worked as an expert commentator and pundit for various TV channels. Was the host of the Royal League matches on Norway TV. He was the coach of a team created for the reality. Okay, so he was in a reality TV show. This makes so much more success, or so much more, it makes more reason. He got TV Personality of the Year award. Let's go, my man. Erik, look at you. Not cursed. He's the father of a Norwegian model, and his kids are talented as well. Norwegian model and former MTV presenter Charlotte Thorstvedt and Genk midfielder Christian. Oh wait, do I know Christian? Is he still playing? He's only 22 years of age. Sick. Hold up, I want to see what Charlotte's looking like. Sussing out the Insta here. Also, lads, if you don't follow me already on Instagram, make sure you go and do that. All right, next up on FIFA 96, we have Andy Legg and Ian Sabu. Okay, so 1996, he was playing at Notts County. What position did he play? He was a left winger / left back. So again, it's hard to say he was cursed given he's 1996 to 2012 he played. So he played another 16 years after being FIFA cover star. But again, there hasn't really been any massive players yet to be cover star. Because he's gone Notts County to Birmingham City to Ipswich to Reading to Peterborough to Cardiff, back to Peterborough to Maestic Park. Who are they? They're in the Welsh League. Then he went to Newport, then he went to that team, then he went to Huck. So he's really, it's not like they were at the peak of playing for the best clubs in the world and then they've just nosedived or anything. You can't say he was cursed because he didn't really have a higher position to go down from. Ion Sabu, he's Romanian. Again, no disrespect, but somebody I haven't really heard of. Where's he played? So what year? So he started, the only club that I recognize initially is Feyenoord. He's got Brescia. So he's playing at Brescia when he was the FIFA cover star. Then he's gone, again, he's just he's not ridiculous. He's played in the Italian league. He's gone to, I assume, Romanian league teams. He's had an established career. He played till 2005. But again, not a superstar. Maybe I'm doing the wrong research and I'm researching the wrong covers. But none of these guys are like the Ronaldos and Mbappés of now. Anyways, we're going to move on to FIFA 97 to a name that I definitely recognize. We're starting to get some superstars. It is Ginola. So he was the cover star of the year I was born, 1997. And in 97, he was playing at Newcastle United after transferring previously from PSG. Went on the same season he was cover star, played 100 games at Tottenham, 32 at Aston Villa, and 5 at Everton in 2002. So he had another 5 or 6 seasons after being FIFA cover star, but he was kind of towards the tail. Where would you say he peaked? I mean, he didn't play a single game again for the French national team after being FIFA cover star. Although when he went to Tottenham, he was named, in 1999, after he was the cover star, he was named PFA Player of the Year and the Footballer of the Year, so that's decent. Won a League Cup with Tottenham. Tottenham don't win trophies often, so he won trophies with Tottenham. That's decent. And he was inducted into the Tottenham Hall of Fame in 2008, so brilliant stuff. It seems like he went a little bit further downhill when he was at Villa and Everton, but he still had some of his best moments in front of him when he was FIFA cover star. So I'm going to say not cursed. FIFA 98 featured one of the most iconic footballers the world has ever seen. This man probably holds the world record. I can't say what I'm about to say. Let's just say he's probably your mum's favorite footballer.
Joe Mama!
But it is the great man himself, the stud himself, David Beckham. I don't need to go into detail on David Beckham's career. We know the LA Galaxy role he played. We know when he went to PSG. We know when he was at AC Milan. We know all of this stuff, Real Madrid. But it is safe to say after FIFA 98, David Beckham was not cursed. In FIFA 99, we have another iconic name. It is Dennis Bergkamp. Again, a man that when he was the FIFA cover star in 1999 was into his 4th season or 3rd or 4th season at Arsenal, and he played up until 2006 as we can see there. But the big notable moment that was still in front of Dennis Bergkamp when he was the FIFA cover star was the Invincible season. One of the most famous moments in English footballing history, one of the most famous seasons, Arsenal's invincible season. He had a key role in that season, has a bloody statue erected outside the Emirates. Dennis Bergkamp, definitely not cursed. He lived up to his career and potential, even though he was deep into his career by this point. But being FIFA cover star didn't stuff him up. Moving into the turn of a new century, and we had Sol Campbell as the FIFA cover star in FIFA 2000. In 2000, that would have been his last season at Tottenham before he became Judas and went to Arsenal the following season and was hated by fans across the country. Would you say that's a curse? I mean, he did well at Arsenal. He managed to bang out 135 appearances with them, 95 at Portsmouth. Things started to go down a little bit after that, went to Notts County, one appearance there. But I mean, let's go do some digging into how he played at Arsenal. Of course, he scored a goal in the Champions League final. He scored a goal in the Champions League final. That is not cursed. Although, to be fair, he was meant to go to Juventus. That fell through, and he ended up going to Portsmouth instead. But he did have a decent little spell there, was the club captain, won the FA Cup final, and he helped them stay and avoid relegation. So, Sol Campbell going hard there. Sued Portsmouth, but we won't worry about that. So I'm going to say immediately after, he had some, again, my big, barometer is how many career highlights and how many good moments do they have after they were cover star. And to score in a Champions League final, to be captain of Portsmouth, to have all these things happen, Sol Campbell, not cursed. FIFA 2001, we have Paul Scholes. Very little has to be said about one of the key midfielders of the past generation. He was era-defining. He is a legend of the sport. He is a dead set icon, Paul Scholes is. I'm coming out. This is something some players I have to research. Paul Scholes, no research necessary. He did not get cursed. God, I cannot wait for somebody to be absolutely cursed. Because so far the video's just been, they didn't deserve to be cover star, and now it's just legend after legend after legend. FIFA 02 is Thierry Henry, and if you need me to tell you whether Thierry Henry was cursed after being the FIFA cover star, then you don't know ball, baby. In FIFA 03, it is fitting that we had 3 cover stars, Roberto Carlos, and one of my favorite players of all time, Edgar Davids. All 3 of these guys in their playing careers were not cursed after being the cover star. From an Edgar Davids standpoint, I think he peaked really when he was the cover star playing at Juventus. Had some good moments, played for a lot of big clubs, especially Barnet, but definitely wasn't shocking. I did not know that. He won a lawsuit in a Dutch court against League of Legends developer Riot Games for using his likeness. What? Ryan Giggs copping the biggest L of all of them, possibly, after probably going to jail. Absolute scumbag. So Ryan Giggs is being cursed off the field, but not on the field. I feel like I remember hearing about Roberto Carlos going to jail, or am I just talking absolute rubbish right now? Yeah, Roberto Carlos got 3 months in prison as well, failing to pay child support. So yeah, all of these guys in FIFA 03 killed it on the park after their cover star issues, or cover star, but off the field, Carlos and especially Giggs, they're cursed. FIFA 04 saw the cover stars being Alessandro Del Piero and the great man himself, one of my favorite players of all time again, Ronaldinho, alongside Thierry Henry, who we already spoke about. Of course, we knew the legendary career that Ronaldinho had. He was playing at Barcelona when he was the FIFA cover star. We're going to talk about it. He's been FIFA cover star for a long time, so we won't have to talk to him much after this. Killed it at Barcelona, killed it at AC Milan, and then decided to head back to his home nation of Brazil to finalize his career. Jumped from club to club. Had a brief spell in Mexico as well. Won a World Cup in 2002, but of course this was before he was FIFA cover star. But off the field, cursed. On the field, not cursed. Off the field, cursed. He's been to jail. He's had all those issues. We know about it. Fake passports, unpaid taxes and fines, all that jazz, and essentially paid his way out of jail. And we all know Alessandro Del Piero, one of the most famous players in Juventus history, went down with them to, I'm actually going to make a bold, actually, is it fair for me to make this bold of a statement? Del Piero's performances, top tier, as you would expect. That doesn't come into question. I'm going to say say though, Del Piero, he got relegated alongside Juventus, obviously because of all the issues they had. And then I would say the biggest L and the biggest curse of them all, playing for Sydney FC. But in all seriousness, Del Piero is an absolute GOAT, an absolute king, and he is definitely not cursed. Moving to FIFA 05, we had Patrick Vieira as one of the cover stars. Obviously another player that I don't really need to go into too much detail with. He was at the end of his career, he played one more year at Juventus, then had a good, decent spell to be fair, at Inter Milan, and rounded out his career at Manchester City, which I'm going to be honest about, I completely forgot that Vieira played at Man City. But he's starting to make waves now in the managerial space. New York City FC, Inter Nice, and now at Crystal Palace. So again, pretty closed case that Vieira was not cursed and didn't suffer many L's after being FIFA cover star, but I'm very interested to see what the next chapter holds for him in terms of management. Another one of the cover stars in FIFA 05 was Fernando Morientes. Where was he? Yeah, he was at Liverpool in 2005 for that one season, 41 appearances, so he played most of the games for them. And just like the great man Patrick Vieira, he was at the tail end of his career, only playing for, they essentially retired at the same time, although he did have 3 games in 2015 for whoever Santa Ana is. Might have got the fire in the belly once again, but he did have 66 appearances at Valencia, which is where I recognize him from the most. Of course, he had that great spell before he was cover star at Real Madrid, but I didn't really follow much back then. I was still too young. So I still know like Morientes when he was at Valencia, went to Marseille for a season, done a bit of youth management for Real Madrid and those clubs, but again, not cursed. It's so hard to call somebody cursed. Like, I feel like the perfect candidates, well, there's one coming up in about 7 years from now, but a cursed player is somebody that just absolutely sucked after the cover star. Synonymous
in the beginning.
Synonymous with Madden. And the third cover star in FIFA 05 was Shevchenko, absolute GOAT, absolute Ukrainian king again, coming towards the back end of his career. Had one final season at AC Milan before he went to Chelsea, did okay there for a few years, went back to AC Milan on loan, and then retired with a successful stint at Dynamo Kiev. But he's another player I don't have to go into too much detail with. Also, we're about to enter an era where there was multiple different covers for different regions. I'm focusing on the United Kingdom, like the main global covers. Because I know in Australia, like for a period there was Sam Kerr and Tim Cahill on it, and other regions had other players like Lewandowski and the Polish ones. So I'm just talking the global covers that were pushed the most. So, for 3 successive years, we're covering 3 FIFAs in one go here. FIFA 06, FIFA 07, FIFA 08, and FIFA 09. So 4, we had Wayne Rooney and Ronaldinho. In fact, I think I've got, hold up, look what I've got. All of my FIFAs that I owned from FIFA 04 to FIFA 16, the rest of them I had digital. I probably should have been holding these up when I was talking about them. So there we go, where are we? FIFA 06, Ronaldinho and Wayne Rooney. FIFA 07, Ronaldinho and Wayne Rooney. FIFA 08, I think this is my favorite FIFA cover of all time, FIFA 08. This one is saucy. And then FIFA 09, Wayne Rooney and Ronaldinho. Again, we know how iconic Wayne Rooney is. He had, in those 4 years, he had some of his best moments come after it. Obviously, continued with Man United, went to Everton for a season, then kind of had the tail end, and now managing Derby County and doing a mighty fine job, might I add. If Wayne Rooney manages to save Derby County from relegation, that has got to be one of that. They've got to make a movie on that. Or at least a Netflix documentary. And Ronaldinho, already covered on him. Moving to FIFA 10. This is a contentious one. We had Theo Walcott. So Theo Walcott played so many games for Arsenal. He's still playing in the top flight. But did he ever really live up to his potential? When he was the FIFA cover star, he was just 20 years of age. He just burst onto the scene. Well, he'd been playing for a few years, to be fair, at Arsenal. But honestly, I don't want to say he's cursed. I just think, no disrespect, I think he had a very average career. He had some iconic moments for Arsenal. But compared to the rest, like compared to the 2 other guys he was on the cover with in Wayne Rooney and Frank Lampard, and think about the guys we've been speaking about for the past however many bloody hours it's felt like. Like, there is no way that you can compare Theo Walcott to the likes of Thierry Henry, Ronaldinho, Alessandro Del Piero. I'm not going to say cursed, but I'm not going to say he lived up to it either. He was mediocre. And the man that shared the cover of FIFA 10 alongside Wayne Rooney and Theo Walcott is the new Everton manager, Frank Lampard. This man has lived the life. Frank Lampard killed it as a player. We all know, went to the World Cup with England, won Champions Leagues with Chelsea, won Premier League titles with them, and now is making his way as a manager. Former Derby. This is 2 Derby County managers shared the FIFA cover. Derby County manager Wayne Rooney and former Derby County manager Frank Lampard. Obviously also managed Chelsea, got sacked from there, and then now freshly announced as Everton manager, but it's got to say Frank Lampard not cursed after being FIFA 10 cover star. Although they did have the World Cup that year in South Africa, and was it the 2010 World Cup where they had that controversial moment where he hit the crossbar, it went in the goal, and they didn't call it against Germany? I think that was 2010. Yeah, it was in the round of 16, and the game, they lost it because of that. So maybe it's the FIFA curse. FIFA 11, Wayne Rooney once again. Wayne Rooney was on it for so many years. Alongside the great man himself, Kaká. Don't even need to look into it. Not cursed. I mean, this man must be so loaded right now. He owns Orlando City. Ladies and gentlemen, we move to FIFA 12, and we have the first player that I can outright say cursed. Jack Wilshere. Unfortunately, he's been derailed by injuries. Absolutely derailed by injuries in his career. It sucks to see because he's had so many bright spots in his career. Spent 10 seasons playing for Arsenal, but just couldn't get a run of form together because of injury. He had some iconic moments, winning the FA Cup in 2014. He definitely did have bright spots in between and after being FIFA cover star, but it is so obvious if you follow the English game how unfortunate Jack Wilshere has been, and that's all come after being FIFA cover star. I hate to say it, I hate to put anybody's dreams down, but Jack Wilshere, cursed. And no surprise, he's also been alongside Wayne Rooney again. Although FIFA 12 was the last time Wayne Rooney was on the cover. Now, for the next 2 years and FIFA 16, we move into the Leo Messi era. FIFA 13, the first time Messi was cover star. And see what I mean? I've got the Australian version, so we've got Tim Cahill playing for the New York Red Bulls. I mean, do we even have to go into it? He is the GOAT. So FIFA 13, FIFA 14, and FIFA 16, we had the GOAT Leo Messi as the FIFA cover star. And those are some of my favorite FIFAs. I've got to say, maybe it's bias of like when I first got super into FIFA, but FIFA 13 is my favorite of all time. Although controversial opinion, I think FIFA 14 on the next gen consoles was one of my least favorite. Absolute finesse simulator. So for FIFA 15, there was a lot of different cover stars alongside Messi. In Australia, we had just Leo Messi on his own. America had Clint Dempsey. But if we're talking England, we're talking the UK, it was Hazard as the FIFA cover star in FIFA 15. Back then, that was just when he was kicking off at Chelsea. He'd been there for a couple of seasons and was really establishing himself as a top quality prospect. Not even a top quality prospect, an absolute superstar of the game. I think you could call him a top quality prospect when he was at Lille. The stats are just absolutely ridiculous though. 245 appearances for Chelsea, 85 goals. So up until when he was at Chelsea, not cursed. He was a top 5 Premier League player of that period. But now you can open up the debate about Real Madrid. 44 appearances for the Galacticos, 4 goals, and he has been labelled an absolute flop since he entered the Spanish capital. I'm very interested to get the opinion of you guys in the comment section down below to let me know what you think about Eden Hazard playing at Real Madrid, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I can say that he's been cursed since being FIFA cover star purely because of how many good years he had when he was at Chelsea, and also that World Cup run with Belgium where they made it to the semi-finals. I'm going to come out here and say not cursed, but I'm open to hearing debate. We are starting to get to super modern times. Only 5 FIFAs ago now as we hit FIFA 17. And a lot of these cover stars, it's not really like, we can't really say whether they're being cursed because it's been so soon since they were on the cover. But we have Marco Reus. He has stayed at Borussia Dortmund since he was FIFA cover star. And I do remember when this FIFA was coming out how he won a vote between Anthony Martial and I believe Eden Hazard. If it was Anthony Martial, we could definitely say that his career's gone downhill since he was FIFA cover star, but he wasn't. It's been up and down for Marco Reus since he was FIFA cover star. He's had some great moments and has been consistently on form for Borussia Dortmund, but he's also had a lot of interrupted seasons following injuries. He went to the 2018 World Cup with Germany. Obviously, we know the flop that World Cup is. You don't have to remind me, I'm part German. I was devastated. But again, Marco Reus is the type of guy where he hasn't gone to that next level. Maybe staying at Dortmund's hindered him, but he also hasn't flopped like the likes of Jack Wilshere, maybe even Theo Walcott. Like, he's been on point. Like, he hasn't really, it's hard for me to find the words because there's not many words to be found. Marco Reus has been stable. He didn't get cursed, and he didn't get his career taken to the next level. I've just been searching for the FIFA 19 and 18 covers, only to realize I had them all digitally. But Cristiano Ronaldo was the FIFA cover star for FIFA 18 and FIFA 19. And honestly, I think he might have been the FIFA 20 cover star if, obvious things didn't happen. Some claims got put out there that kind of got him taken off the cover. If you know, you know. It's the type of stuff that if I say it, I'll get maybe demonetized or video age-gated.
Whoa, hey.
But there is not even a need to go into how good Cristiano Ronaldo has been his whole career, let alone after being FIFA cover star. He's won Ballon d'Ors since he got his 5th Ballon d'Or the year he was made cover star. If Messi's the GOAT, this guy's up there. Cristiano Ronaldo's a machine. We all know this.
True.
FIFA 20 saw Eden Hazard grace the cover once again alongside Virgil van Dijk. He'd just come off a Premier League winning season. He's won the Premier League with Liverpool, but there is a claim to be made that Van Dijk was kind of cursed since being cover star. He had the season-ending injury which had him out for months. And obviously this is only 2 years ago, so you can only go off what's happened in the past 2 years. But Virgil van Dijk went from being the best defender in the world to now he's still great. He's still one of the best in the world, but he's taken a while to even get game time after injury. So I'm not going to say cursed, but if he gets one more injury, I might say cursed. And then we come to present day, FIFA 21 and FIFA 22. Kylian Mbappé. This kid is still so young, only 23 years of age. He's one of the best attackers in world football. I'm not going to say cursed. He hasn't been. He's been killing it. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. 88 goals in 100 appearances for PSG. He's won a World Cup with France. I am so excited to see what the future holds for Kylian Mbappé. Maybe we can come revisit this in another 10 years' time if YouTube is still a thing by then and see how his career panned out. But I'm expecting for him to fall under the likes of Thierry Henry and all the other players we had in the mid-2000s where FIFA every year was just the best players, like some of the best players of all time. But there we go, lads. Thank you for joining me in a journey through time to see how the FIFA cover stars have panned out. If you want me to do any videos similar to this in the future, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below, and by leaving a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new around here, but I hope you have a fantastic day. It has been JarradHD here. I'm out. Peace.